This is Andrew Bocher with GY6 Outdoors. Testing out the MSR Windburner today. The Windburner has been a go-to for many years for many people. There's been a lot of positive feedback on it, a lot of people enjoying it, including myself. And I want to discuss that in this video and show you how this thing functions and the versatility of having everything in one solid compact unit that you can just stuff into your backpack and be on the go. The Windburner 1 liter obviously holds 1 liter, and they also have different things you can attach to the burner itself, as in a pan. I believe they have different cups and mugs now. They also have a French press. Now I had to get that as soon as I found out about it, and it works like a charm. So the base of here obviously is a plastic cup. In the base plate I keep my French press and my stand. This French press is mainly the press itself, and then this screws together like that, and this screws into the press. And what you do is you put hot water inside, pour in coffee grounds, stir it up a little bit, put this on top, let it steep for about 5 to 6 minutes, push it all the way down nice and slow, giving it about a minute time all the way down to the bottom, nice and easy, and you have a nice cup of joe. So the links for the Windburner and the attachments, the matches, isobutane that you'll need for this is in the description of the video, so you don't have to go hunting around for it. Very well made. I've taken it up to 12,000 feet backpacking. It's been beat up inside my backpack. It's been pressed on, smashed. I haven't stepped on it myself, but I mean, pushed a lot of gear on top of it. Hasn't had any issues. Everything still fits fine. The lid's kind of wonky. The lid kind of comes on and off. It's not real tight, but it can stay on there. And it has vents on here as well. You can drink out of it, you can strain out of it because it's got the strainer here, so you can dump out liquids and then eat whatever is inside. Sorry about that, the light's changing around. Always crazy weather when you're in the outdoors. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best, as they always say. So not only do you have the isobutane in there, but you also have the main burner in there as well. On top of it, you'll see a little wire. That wire will start glowing bright red to kind of let you know that it is very hot, because it's hard to see that the isobutane is actually burning, and you don't want to scald yourself and burn your skin and anything like that. So keep an eye on that. It'll let you know that the fire is burning. You don't have to go feeling for it and burn yourself. That'll start glowing red, and you'll see that in a second. So let's set this down here. Inside, you obviously have 1 liter. It has measurement marks going from 28 ounces all the way down to 12 ounces, or 0.3 liters all the way up to 0.7 liters, and then hash marks in between to let you know about stuff. It has a max fill line, but you can obviously fudge that. But if you go above it, make sure to keep an eye on that heat. Now, this unit, you obviously can carry around like this. It makes it nice. But on the back side, you can pull on these tabs when you want to clean it. Pull on the tab, and this slides down. You can clean it, wipe it down, whatever you got to do if you have a spill. And when you push this back on, it snaps back into place, and you're back onto having a container that you can hold and move around with. The way it fits onto the unit, straight down, twist. Clockwise, just about 1/8 of a turn. We're working overtime on color correcting and getting proper light for this. Sorry about that once again, but clouds will be clouds. So you can carry it around like this, even when it's attached to the isobutane. So you'll have the whole unit. You can move it from place to place. You don't have to worry about being stuck in one spot, especially if the weather changes on you out of nowhere. It's nice to be able to move around. Plus you have a stand that'll help keep it balanced. Now, before we attach this, let's talk about the stand. The stand is definitely worth getting, worth its weight in gold. Last thing you want to do is fill this all up and have this teeter-totter effect. It's all vertical, so having more of a base is nice. This obviously folds down, fits into the center base of the stove, folds out. You have little attachment points. You just click these in, bend them, click those in as well, click that in, and you're good to go. Take the top off, and you're gonna screw this into the base of the stove. Before you do that though, pull this little tab out. That is where you're gonna regulate your heat. Screw it on. You don't have to over tighten this. That's the thing you gotta pay attention to. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want gas to leak out, so you over tighten it. No need. Just get it till it's nice and snug, and you're solid. This grate around here does get hot, be careful. Everything from here to here gets very hot. Use the handles accordingly. Grab the stove itself. You can move it around like this. The isobutane container does not get hot. Goes in clockwise, counterclockwise, comes off. Very simple. So because it's very simple, remember not to like fiddle around with this too much as you're moving around, because it could slightly shift and then come out and fall on the ground. So just be careful, but it is nice that you can pick this up and move around your campsite with it without worrying too much. All right. Let's see how fast this thing can boil some water. So in order to light this, you want to remove your container, put it to the side for a second, and you can use either a Bic lighter or any type of other lighter. MSR does make, I think I brought it. Yeah, I did. MSR does make this little click lighter that you're supposed to be able to hover over top of this and strike it. And it's like a barbecue lighter, but I've had horrible luck with it. Do not waste your money on this thing. It is hit and miss at best. Let's see if we can even get this to strike. Nope. Nothing. It's been very, very hit and miss for me on this. MSR, if you see this, if you watch this, I want to know why the hell this thing doesn't work. I definitely see the arc and the spark, but it doesn't work with this. So let's put this to the side. You can use a Bic lighter or stormproof matches. These matches are fantastic. The link's in the description for the video, but I tested these out. They're waterproof and windproof, and a lot of matches say that, but some very few actually work. So if you're in a situation where you want to start a fire and your lighter is not working and you need matches, having windproof, waterproof, all the proofs needed for a match when the situation calls for it, it's worth its weight in gold. So having these matches definitely helps. It just burns, even in this kind of stiff wind right now, this burns quite well. So just turn this on a little bit, so you'll be turning this. Yep, perfect. Perfect timing. They don't burn for very long, but they burn enough and very hot to get the job done. If you're looking at the gas knob, turn it counterclockwise to release gas from the isobutane container. It ignites. As you can see, that little coil is turning red. That lets you know that the fire is burning. Do not touch it. It doesn't mean you have to wait for it. It just is a reminder that, hey, there's some heat. Don't burn yourself like a moron. And trust me, I burn myself all the time, so I'm calling myself a moron. They know that people like me get overzealous and start burning our fingers off. Gradual all the way up and down. There's no click adjustments. You got to kind of remember where certain things are at so you don't overboil certain things. We have 16.9 fluid ounces of water. Let's snap this on here. So once again, set it in clockwise. Ooh, it's already getting hot in there. Dump this in. Let's just get that all in there. Let's take it up to so about, let's just say 16. High heat all the way up, and let's see how long it takes for that to boil. Let's start the clock. Put the lid on here. I put the lid on very gently, that way I can easily take it on or off without worrying about overflowing, because if it's too tight on there, you don't want to be fumbling around while boiling water's going over top, burn the hell out of your hands. This boils very fast, probably one of the fastest stoves I've ever used for boiling water, due to the fact that all that heat's being funneled up through those vents, shot directly up into the container, and then conducting in there to where it is being absorbed into that water super, super fast. It's already starting to bubble a little bit. It's pretty crazy. Yep, there goes the bubbles. We'll wait. With these containers, I get about a 3-day backpacking trip, I'll go through one of these isobutane containers for the most part. Sometimes I'll have more, sometimes I'll have less. It all depends upon the temperature, how much wind there is. Though the wind does not affect this, nor does it blow it out. I've had major winds happen and the stove has never blown out on me, ever. So I'm sure there's gale force winds that could put it out, but I haven't experienced anything yet, and that's 2 thumbs up in that case. I hate when a stove goes out and all you smell is gas and your food gets cold because you thought it was going, but it really wasn't. Not good. But yeah, you'll get about, I cook every meal, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the stove, and I get about roughly 2.5, 3 days on one little container. Already boiling. Whoa. Just like that. So as you can see in the secondary camera, a very high rolling boil, not just oh, it's starting to boil. No, it's full on. So let's shut that off. We're not cooking anything today. It doesn't need to be any more long-winded than it is right now. But boiling water, super hot, super fast to be able to get your water to boil. Or if you were really thirsty, you need to boil some water from a creek or a lake, you can do it with that. I've done it a few times. It definitely helps out, especially when you run out of water or you forget your water purifier and you're going on a little bit of a hike. It comes in handy to have a packable stove. This light has been crazy all video, so I apologize. I probably look like a ghost. This is supposed to be a good shaded area, but it didn't work out. Either way, you got to see what you needed to see. The stove, it is awesome. It works great. It's reliable. I can say I've used it for, I think, 4.5 years now, 4 years now. I haven't had a single issue with the unit at all. And I've taken it from sea level all the way up to 12,000 feet elevation with the same isobutane container, no changes. I've taken the stove from 100+ degrees all the way down to -5, and it still worked the same. Starting off our stove testing, I think this is what I wanted to do. I want to show you what I consider a fantastic stove. So if anything beats it or is better, maybe lighter weight, a little bit more compact, we'll give it even more pomp and circumstance for how great it is. If you have ideas for future videos, things you want to see me test, different stoves that you might be interested in, these stoves aren't cheap, guys. We got to buy the products and display them to you. So our patron support from our patrons at patreon.com/GY6 Outdoors. The link's in the description. Fan funding helps us keep doing what we're doing. If you haven't already, consider becoming a patron. We do giveaways all the time. Depending upon when you're watching this, it could be every single week. We want to say thank you to the patrons that are already over there helping out. Can't say thank you enough. I feel the love and I can't say thank you enough. I'm very humbled. We're doing voting on Patreon right now for future videos. So if they say they want a certain type of video more often, they're gonna get that because fan supported. Thanks again, guys. This is Andrew Bocher with GY6 Outdoors. Go check out our playlist. Don't forget to subscribe to GY6 Outdoors. Leave a comment, thumbs up, all that fun jazz. I think I'm gonna put some top ramen in this. I'm hungry. See you next time. Later.